It's Sunday, the 11th of January 2026, and here are your newspaper headlines. As we look back on this week, the headlines paint a picture of a world where the old rules have been shredded. From the stunning extraction of Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela to the tragic fatal shooting of Renee Nicole Good in Minneapolis, where the agent involved has been granted absolute immunity, we are witnessing an era where force is replacing law. The Observer captures this perfectly today with its World Without Rules lead. We've seen threats to Greenland, instability in Nigeria, and a White House that seems to embrace mayhem as a primary strategy. What's truly jarring is the silence or dismissal of these grave issues by certain corners of the media. This week, we saw Grok generate lurid and fettered images of women, a massive safety concern, yet it was largely dismissed as programming errors by those more interested in protecting their ideological masters than protecting girls and women. It's a bitter irony from people who claim to protect women only when it serves a specific anti-immigrant agenda. Turning to Iran, the situation has turned bloodier. The Sunday Times reports that the death toll is now in the hundreds as the regime intensifies its crackdown on protests backed by a collapsing economy. Donald Trump has seized this moment, posting that Iran is looking at freedom and that the US is ready to help. But what does that help look like? The Sunday Telegraph notes that military intervention is being discussed even as hospitals fill with victims. We see the grandson of the late Shah positioning himself as a leader in waiting, but many fear that Trump's rescue is more about regime change and oil than the Iranian people. After seeing the hollow liberation of Venezuela, the world is rightly skeptical of what rescue means when it's delivered by a military force. Finally, let's look at the home front. We have Nigel Farage on the front of the Mail on Sunday, blasting Keir Starmer as spineless and turning the UK into a military pygmy. This is rich considering the military was hollowed out by 14 years of Tory cuts that Farage championed. Starmer is actually looking to increase spending to 3% of GDP. Yet Farage, a man who supports the very people, Trump and Putin, causing the global instability, now claims to be the defender of our security. Then there's Kemi Badenoch in the Sunday Express claiming she has the blueprint to save the British High Street. Kemi, you were part of the government that oversaw 14 years of High Street decline. It's easy to promise tax cuts now to get back into office, but the public hasn't forgotten the record. And as the council tax bills start landing on doormats this month, the reality of those promised tax cuts by reform councils is becoming clear. They were just a mirage. We see Reform UK-led councils now having to raise taxes to cover the underfunding they once rallied against. The track record is there. On one hand, a party that broke the country over 14 years, and on the other, a leader in Farage whose own party members are struggling to perform at the local level. A world without rules abroad and a series of diversions at home. The right-leaning press wants you to look at Meghan Markle's summer return or pub tax U-turns while the structures of global peace are dismantled. Are we being distracted while the world burns? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Is there any moral leadership left? Don't forget to like and subscribe for the context you won't get on the newsstands. I'll see you tomorrow.